trade, and it hasn't been a buy for 2 days. We talked about the oil sell-off, and we were talking about the RGL. Remember, James had started to trade the RGL, so I'm assuming James is retiring from anything he wants to retire from. The sell on the RGL last night was 85s off the top edges there, 85s off the top edges. Currently now trading 83, 85, that is, not 85 evens. So 83, 85s. It's now trading down a low price of 81s. 81. You heard that right, guys. Not 82s, 81s. Nearly $3,000 of profit on the short side of oil this morning. And it's been sell side. You know this, it's been sell side since we started a couple of days ago on the short side of the trade based around the supply that was visible. Remember this chart here? The supply chart. Look at the amount of supply that's visible on that screen, guys. Huge supply. So there is a massive opportunity to work that short oil trade, and sure enough, the outcome last night, the supply last night was the best I've seen. So the sell at last night's at 83.90s, as I said, down to 80s. You're already talking about a $3,000 oil sell-off. Now, the second phase of the sell-off, it wasn't really predicted, but it started to get predicted into this last leg. Take a look. So you can see into this last leg lower here, you can see that the oil supply starts to show up again right here on the short-term 5-minute here. You start to see the supply coming back in off of this calendar reversal here. And obviously this is the half-back sell trade just here. So you might have been able to pick up some business, for example, on this candle. And obviously that was just before the market sold off down to the next bracket target price. So there's the low of the bracket there. There's the high of the bracket. Where's the target price, guys? We all know where the target price is. It's the measure. What happens at the measure? The price goes right to the measure. Beautiful. What a trade. 81.20s traded down to 81.10s, and it stopped at that target price. And that's where we're getting the buy side bounce at the moment, is stopping into that target price just there. Unbelievable trade. Well done, anybody that's on board. And if anybody took it from the RGL from last night, never even gave you an upside move, never had to work any of this trade. Never had to work about any of this trade. It was very, very simple to trade, very easy, very clean, never tested once. That might have been your problem. A lot of people want to see it testing it and then selling it on the test. But on this occasion, we got the sell-off that we needed, and that's added to a brilliant sell-side pot we've made on oil on that short side of the book. RGL tonight was on the S&P was brilliant. We got another sell off the RGL just there this morning at 9 o'clock. You can see that this is how the sell's been developing this morning. Very, very substantial divergence in terms of the spreads here. You can start seeing the ABCs are getting hit. You can see we start seeing some selling pressure coming in from the delta hedgers. So we can see that if the delta's getting hedged and we're up at the top edge, we know what's happening, guys. We're going to try and sell that. So there's the RGL from last night. It was 24s, 25s. So obviously, based on that, RGL at 24.25, an easy sell here at 1 o'clock this morning. And then obviously when we retested at 9 o'clock this morning, another sellable opportunity. And that sets up a brilliant looking diverging storyline here. And based on that, we've obviously got a big target price of a simple but straightforward, easy to see measure to the downside. And you can see that the target price for this afternoon is away down here at 46.09, 46.10. If we get to that price, of course, that's a 14-point move. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It's quite a quiet market so far today in equities. And that's hopefully where we get to, guys. That's hopefully where we get to. 20 minutes, sorry, to cash open, 20 minutes to cash open. So welcome in. I hope you're all good. But it's a big day today for numbers. We've obviously got some numbers coming out this afternoon. We've got some pretty big numbers. We've already seen the ADP numbers coming out. ADP forecast at 400 came in at 571,000, well above the expectation of 400,000. We've seen the ISM services coming out. Well, we haven't seen it, but it's coming out this afternoon. ISM services 61.9 forecast. Crude oil inventories also this afternoon. Remember, an hour earlier than usual so that you don't get caught out by the classroom timing. An hour earlier than usual. And finally, tonight, 6 o'clock, FOMC, guys. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be hot. It's going to be volatile. So be very, very cautious. You don't have to trade these. You should not be relying on these data releases to make your day's money. because that's not how you create a successful book. You create a successful book by not losing during the course of the day and then catching the occasional big breaking market like we got on gold. That's how you make a successful book. So we're in great shape on this. We're looking good. It looks like a great trade that we've seen so far this morning. We've done some bond trading. We've done some oil trading. We've done some gold trading. We've done some top edge equity selling as well. We've made some good money. So let's see if we can pick up some really good stuff this afternoon as well. But just be cautious. The market liquidity will start dropping off relatively early in Classroom. Ahead of the FOMC, watch for dollar positioning. Watch for the guys trying to start positioning for the dollar. Make sure you're aware of what's going on. Make sure you don't get caught by a blindside move. And then we can start looking for some adjustments, because obviously they'll start adjusting during the course of the afternoon. And then we can start getting a solid read into 6 o'clock based on the last hour of positioning going into the big FOMC numbers this afternoon. Are we expecting anything? Well, we're not expecting any rate hike changes. We're not expecting to see anything physical taking place, but what we are seeing is sound bites. What we are expecting to see, obviously, based upon what we have heard already from Fed members, is very much a case of the bringing into focus the actual dates of the taper process. When are they expecting to start tapering? What date have they got in mind? Are they going to firm up a date itself? Are they going to start giving us some forward guidance on actual tapering processes? Are they going to give us any actual forward guidance on rate hikes? Are they going to do rate hikes first? Are they going to do rate hikes before they do the taper? Or are they going to do the taper? One would imagine they're going to do the taper first, followed by the rate hike second, which is the normal process for the central banks coming out of a dip like this. So let's see what happens, guys. Let's see what happens. It's going to be fun for bond traders. It's going to be fun for the dollar traders. It may be a bit of commotion for the equities as well if they come out with a very, very strong hawkish statement. Watch out below, guys, because equities will tank. So the more hawkish they come out, the more tanking the S&P will do. So just make sure you're aware of that. If they come out very dovish and it's a pushback, guys, equities could lift off significantly. So there is a definite breakout trade to be had this afternoon, but obviously it's going to be incredibly volatile. It's going to be Gainesville, Tennessee. So just bear that in mind when you start watching for these, watching for some really light liquidity spikes on the markets this afternoon as we move towards the FOMC. So have a good one. I'm going to grab a little bit of lunch. I'll be back in 10 minutes, guys.